Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, Jaded Fox. Welcome back. I made you a mod, so now you get all the tabs on your screen. And I'm glad you like my music. I love Animal Crossing. I haven't played it in quite a while, but it was just so chill the entire time. Oh, they don't spin when they pop up on the emote wall. Interesting. They spin in chat for sure. Let's see what I was on this one. Ta-da! Hello. So I got some pictures this time. It was raining when we showed up and I was taking pictures. So it was very dreary. But I did get some pictures this time. Oh, thank you. It's normally it's my farming hat, but I have a similar one that my character wears. But as you can see from my, oh, here, let me get my, if I can hold my pencil correctly. Uh, right here. I forgot my hat. I was so excited. I remembered so many other things, and we forgot to bring my hat and the milk. So we should be all cozy. And I think actually I'm backwards. Hold on. Where the frick? Okay, me. Uh, flip me. No. Holy fuck, I teleported. That's not what I wanted. Flip me there. 'Cause I moved my screen so I could see things a little bit better. There. So now I'll be looking over that way to see you guys. Ta-da! Normally you guys are over there, but now you're over there for me. Oh, and before I forget, okay, it's turned on. I've got freaking music this time. Positioning. Oh yeah, no, get some water, get some snacks, get a blankie, get super cozy. We'll talk about LARP adventures. I'll get the first area kind of figured out. Ooh. Okay. Yes, I have music this time. Last time I had music and I was listening to it. But I will tell you what, it wasn't turned on for the stream. So this time I got music for everybody. We should be good to go. And I turned on my light. Okay, sweet. I'm getting the hang of this streamer stuff. Look at me go. I posted everywhere. I got everything. Whoa. You. Come here. Oh, I see what we're doing. I see how it is. There we go. Now I can move it around. Oh, I get trolled by it all the time. Because I'll have it playing, but I'll have it muted so that it's just the Animal Crossing music at the start. And then I'll flip scenes, and then I'll completely forget to turn it on. And then I'm like, ah, yeah. So normally I get pretty music. Whether or not you guys get pretty music is a whole other bag of worms. Okay. So, our starting pictures. We have... Oh, it's thinking. Oh, it's thinking real hard. We started off with setting up camp. And I smileyed out their faces just to be safe. But setting up camp. So this is the kind of like front area of our camp. And then, yeah, there's just like a whole bunch of trees in and around the back here. And then, yeah, the kitchen is, I'm going to change my color so it's easier to see. Our little kitchen area is like right here behind this little window. And then there's more of a little sitting area and like a crafting table and like just some supplies over behind this one. And then you can kind of see it in the background, but that's our sleeping tent. So we're going to move this guy over here. And then I think we will put them under like that. So that is our main camping site. That is Dragon Camp. So that's where I hang out. I hang out with all the dragons and the dragon followers and friends of the dragon followers, and no god stuff. You follow a god, you gotta get out. Yeah. So our main leader, I talked about him a little bit last time. The owner of Dragon Camp is Sithis, our red draconian, follower of Rathanok, the red dragon, who I believe is war? Like war and glory sort of thing. And yes, you totally gotta go LARPing, Jaded. It's so fun. At least my guild house that I'm in is very, very fun. I do not recommend the one in Edmonton. It keeps exploding and management isn't the greatest there. But my little one in Saskatchewan is great. I love it there. Yeah. So I'm happy that Zenny has been so good. So I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to share more adventures because of it. But yeah. So what else do I have for Dragon Camp? I took some other pictures. Where are they? Dragon Camp? Where'd your pictures go? Oh, there they are. Whoa! Oh, you're sideways. Hey. You. Merge onto there so I can fix you. Spin! Whoa! My files are too big for this application. There we go. So this is one of the little, I say little, it's taller than me, I'm pretty sure, shrines that Sithis has to Rathanok. Because Yes, no, Sithis puts in so much effort and time and money into stuff, and like this is absolutely amazing. It's got little fairy lights on it too for at night. We can turn them on, and then it's got little red glowy bits all around it. But yeah, so it's Rathanok's little shrine. It sits at the very entrance to the main part of Dragon Camp. Uh, I'll shrink it down. Oh, I'll make it a little bit smaller. Woo! We'll just put it over here. There we go. And then we'll do that. And yeah, so you can see it sits right here in camp. And then this was before anybody else showed up, so it was just our main group from this town. But we have other people that play that join us. So like Ray and Zilong and Urslak. He's our blacksmith. And they set up camp outside. So like their tents would be like over here. And then I think Urslax is generally like right here. So yeah, their tends to be around, and then the more people we have, the more it kind of like extends out, and then we'll have even like more people. So like it gets very busy around Dragon Camp. But that's just because Sithis is so awesome, and like he is such a charismatic fellow, and that like you're just drawn to him. You're like, ah, yes, this person is fun to be around. Let's go. So yeah. And then our other newest addition to Dragon Camp, if I can find it in my pictures. Oh, there it is. Whoa! Okay, come here. Get down there. Transfer to that layer so I can change you around so that you're not on your side. I know my memory usage is too much. Let me just save for a quick second before my whole system crashes. It did not like me inputting so many pictures. And so now it's been yelling at me the whole time of just like, save your work because I'm gonna crash because you've inputted too many things. Okay, we're saved. Let's spin this guy around. Ooh. There is our little memorial obelisk for... I can't remember his actual name. But he was our golem buddy that we lost in hell last time. So we made a little memorial. We'll shrink it right down. And it sits right over beside the Rathanok one. So yeah, rip golem buddy. We're hoping to find more of his pieces. Golem cores have been showing up. And I don't know if we got any this game. I didn't hear anybody mention it. But yeah, we're on the lookout for golem buddy pieces to hopefully either get another one or something better. But for now, we don't have Golem Buddy. But he was such an awesome little golem with no soul. No soul. So, couldn't even come back if he wanted to. And so we have a little memorial for him. Rest in pieces, Golem Buddy. Then... Oh, perfect. It's the next one up here. Woo! We have Dragon Camp's barrier markers, which actually I witnessed in use on our final day. Just turn that around. There we go. So it's very cool. We have 2 of them. Oh yeah, no, it's super fun. And like most of this is like definitely thanks to Sithis, for sure. Like I'm pretty sure all these tents, or at least most of them, were like his budget, his little baby. He put so much into it. And then yeah, we have 2 of these and some lights that shine on them outside of Dragon Camp. So let me shorten this down again. Nope, that's going to cut off corners, and then we're going to have bits that I'll have no idea how to erase later. So they are like out here-ish. And he kind of just stakes them in the ground and goes, this land is Rathanok's land. Dragon Camp belongs to Rathanok and the dragons. So don't be bringing your god bullshit over here. My word is kind of law over here. And it's out of the goodness of my heart that we help town. But yeah, that's my land. So yeah, he just kind of stakes it in the ground. And I think last game we had a really wide circle area, and it was much more manageable this time. We just had the 2 and like kind of like a line. No. Give me my pencil. So it was like a nice little line, and we had 2 of these on either side. There, my little drawing. And then, yeah, so this was... all of this is Rathanok's land, over here in the corner. Don't cross that line if you're bringing bullshit over. And then I think I gotta make all of this much smaller, because this area is huge. No BS here, please, and thanks. Dragon Camp. And like we are... so I have it over here in the corner. But like... I don't know if you can see. Like over here is like a cabin. And it's like trees and then like a field. A very small field and like a hill. And then there's like a little cabin over here. And that cabin belongs to one of Dragoncamp's friends, Andric, I believe his name is. And so he comes down and he visits us all the time. And then our tent, this one, our tent and Andric's cabin tend to be where Dragon Camp does a lot of their rituals. And so lots of times they're locked up and nobody can get in because Sithis and Thade and Gerald and Andric are doing crazy shit. But I don't normally go up towards Andric's cabin, so I didn't really get a picture of it, unfortunately. But that was, I think, all of Dragon Camp. I don't think I took, or at least I didn't download because I couldn't get all of my pictures on here, or else my poor little drawing app was gonna crash on me. I think that was it. Okay, so then from the end of Dragon Camp, you can see town. Let's get... Ta-da! This is one side of town. There is another side with very similar looking buildings and everything. And then I do have kind of like the center of town as well. Just because I'm glad I did, because there was an event that happened there. So then I can reference back to it. But yeah, these weren't quite fully set up. I do believe like this is the tavern? Or that's the tavern. I have yet to fully figure out which is which. But both of them will be open all the time, and you can actually sign up beforehand for a meal plan if you want. And I think this time they had ribs and like buns and stuff. Yes, no, this site is amazing. And they use it for LARP, but they also use it for the oh, what's it called? The SCP? Oh, I can't remember. I can't even remember what it stands for. But it's basically like the more intense LARP, where like you are donning your full, like you want to be fully armored up, and I think they use like actual swords and stuff. So like all of ours are made out of like duct tape or foam. And then like these other guys are like, no, this is like I am in a reenactment and we are going to beat each other senseless. Which I think Sithis has done. I don't think he does it right now, because I think he's too busy with work, so I think LARP is kind of his escape for that, but he used to do it. So he is absolutely terrifying because he's so experienced in like so many like fighting things that it's like, uh-huh. And he's really tall too, so like very intimidating. You see him come out as an NPC and you're like, ah, frick. Like I don't want to fight that one. That one's mean and big looking. Yes, very tall, very big, has the experience. Very terrifying. So it's a good thing he's a very nice guy. uh, but we shall put town. Oh, town, get onto the one that I can change. There we go. There, and then we'll shrink down town. So I'll put it. Oh, put it right there. Not very accurate, because like So from right here of Dragon Camp, there's like a downhill, and then it would like curve a little bit, and then it would go up like through a field. And then you would like, so you can see town from Dragon Camp, but you can't like it's still it's a walk. And then the toilet is like right here outside of Dragon Camp. You kind of go around, not this one. This one's actually this I put it in the rug spot. This one's actually supposed to be on the outside. That's the open field one. But the other one, you have to like go around it and then go up the hill a little bit, and then there's the toilet. So one day, maybe one day I'll take a video and you guys can hear my heavy breathing as I'm like and now over here we got town. You guys can just listen to me die as I video it and be like, okay. But for now, you guys have to look at my poorly taken pictures. So yeah, there's one part of town, and then oh, it's sideways. Okay, come on. Come here. Turn around. So this is kind of the center and the other side of town. It's thinking. There we go. So this is like a little gazebo thing, and then over here, I didn't quite fully get it, but there's this little ribboned off area. So we're supposed to try not to step or drive over this grass, so they blocked it off. But occasionally things can happen in the center. And this time around, we had a tournament of champions that I will talk about that happened right there. And then you can kind of see the other side of town has more cabins and buildings. And all of these little mini houses are what the outhouses look like. So those are all the bathrooms. So very cute. I love the aesthetic of everything here. And then this is like right on the other side of these buildings. So like you can sit on these decks over here. So you can like sit down right there or like right over here, and you can view this area. Do I have any more of town? Or is it just past town? Don't. I have some more pictures that have turned sideways later on. No, I think they're all past town now. I think that is my only town pictures that I managed to get downloaded onto my onto my drawing. So now you could kind of see it in the background of town. We're just gonna don't stop touching things I don't mean to touch. Okay, we're just gonna move town a slight bit. We'll just pretend that there's more area in between there than there actually is. Oh, hello, Dastin! I'm currently making a map of all the pictures that I took of our LARP site. I'll zoom in so you can see. So we got Dragon Camp. This is where we've been hanging out. And, oh, I don't know if you two have met yet, but Jaded, this is Dastin. He is my younger brother who is next in line after me. So it goes Dastin, and then there's Marf, is the middle of the three younger brothers, and then there is Baka, which is the youngest. So, yeah, if he sasses me really hard, that's why. But yeah. What was that? Oh, yeah, Dragon Camp. So, yeah, this is where we've been hanging out. So, like, the entrance of Dragon Camp with the Rathanok statue and the memorial to Golem Buddy. And then we kind of have, like, an open field in front of us that we made more into a runway this time. Marked off with our banners. And then this is our sleeping tent where most of us sleep. So, like, I think there was Sithis, Capricorn, Beatrice, what's his new name? Breaker, Thade, and me all slept in this tent. And then this blue tent over here was our storage tent, and so it was kind of still the storage tent, but we also had another girl come to join us, and I guess they weren't comfortable sleeping in the big tent with everybody, which, like, fair. There's a lot of us in there, and after a couple of days at LARP, you get kind of stinky, so understandable that she doesn't want to be in there with us. And I think her character's name was Twig? Yeah, Twig. She was our Gargolin. And she slept in there with some of our supplies. And then, yeah, other people come, and then they build up their tents kind of in this intermediate area. And then that's Dragon Camp. And then this was town. So over here, these are kind of one of them is the tavern. I'll figure out one day which one's actually the tavern. And then this is the center of town, kind of like a little gazebo. And then you can kind of see the other side over on the other side. And then you can kind of see it way over here is an interesting little structure. I don't know what it is in game, because we've never actually been like, nothing happens over there with it yet, anyway. But I thought it was really cool. It's like a deconstructed building. I know I'm using too much memory. I'll save it again. Get out of here. It might still be being built. If it is, it's taking a bit. Because it looked exactly like this the last time I was out. Which was last month. So nothing's been built in there yet. But in behind here, in these trees, are a whole bunch of cabins. Like personal cabins. I think for the SCP peoples. Wood is expensive nowadays. But yeah, and then they have all these like little automatic lights that come on all the time too. So like at night, the woods get really, really pretty. And still very, very dark. But I wanted to include that because I thought it was cool looking. And then, there we go. Let's shrink this down. Whee! And then that is over in the background here. Oh, I'm gonna have to move everything. My map's not gonna work. Hold on. Oh, yes, apply the transformation. Okay, come here. Dragon Camp. No. I want just Dragon Camp, please. God damn it. Why am I bad at this? Okay. Give me Dragon Camp. Dragon Camp, come down here. You are now halfway down. Sweet. Town, come here. And then you, come here. In the background there. Okay. Oh yes. Super professional. The biggest professional, greatest streamer of all time. I remembered my music though this time, so I get some points. You guys have music to listen to while I'm struggling. Uh, so okay. Let's see. Where's my... Put it back right there. Next one will be this, I think. Boo! This is our what's called a Skyn Gate. So in theory, every time it does not need to be the carnival music. This is our Skyn Gate. So this is how everybody travels basically to and from the different lands. From my understanding, it's like a portal. Like a big magic portal. But so like if you're a new character or visiting from a different guild, you technically come in through here. And this actually had a bit of relevance this plot game when I finally get into talking about how everything was going down and the lore, which I kind of paid attention to this time. So hopefully I don't get it wrong. Give you guys fake news. Oh. There we go. Then we can shrink this down. So this Skyn Gate is, so this group of trees over behind this one goes to even like more groups of trees, and then it's a little bit of a hike, but not too bad of one. And it's like over here. Behind. And then plot camp is like if we zoom in on this picture, see this little pathway right here? That goes kind of like up a little hill, and then there's like a little road, and then there's more of a hill, and then there's plot camp. So that road is kind of the cutoff for what's like in game, and then plot camp is out of game. And then there's a spot behind plot camp that, if need be, they will bring us to it. So then that'll be in game, but only if plot brings you there. And then the Skyn Gate kind of has like the road, like right back here, it kind of ends. So the Skyn Gate's within game, but then just behind it is technically out of game. Oh, the cool spot's next. Okay, I'm just gonna add that to there. Get a new one. Ta-da! This is the fort. And that hill is very steep. At least for me, someone with disabilities and bad bones and joints. It's a very steep hill. I didn't even get the full intensity of it. This is like part way up and then there. Oh, very good for fighting orcs. But orcs are one of the, I guess, good races. So Urslak, I believe, is an orc. And if he's not an orc, he's an ogre. But I think he's an orc because I think he uses the green face paint. And I do believe that that's orcs. Yeah. But What town mostly fights is demons. And oh, do I have some good demon stories for later. But yeah, this is the fort that I was talking about last time. So last time on LARP Adventures with Lilliana, I talked about how in the fort there was a big magic circle. That magic circle is still there. It still pulses out energy that will murder your face if you stand too close. And yeah, it's a bad time. Technically, above this fort, or relatively above, in the sky, is a giant floating island that is slowly crumbling down. Aren't we all fighting our inner demons every day? Though I gotta fight physical demons. I gotta be a demon. And you wouldn't think me to be very terrifying. But I will explain later how I'm not allowed to be a demon anymore. So yeah, we're gonna put this down. So we go do 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 do. And the fort is over here. So to get to the fort, you walk through town, you go past this, and then there's like a hill down, and then the hill goes up, and then that's how you get to the fort. So it's a ways away from Dragon Camp, even though on my current map it doesn't show it. Now what is this next picture? Ooh, this is the view from the fort. Okay, let me merge you down. Okay, so standing up, not quite at the fort, but like near the hill on the fort. Or no, this is just before it. This is just before it. Oh my gosh. So this is... Okay, this is... Let me just scrunch it. This is just before the fort. So... This is... outside of town, opposite of this. Kinda. There we go. So yeah, this is if you were standing just a little bit more over this way and then turn to look to the left. You can see how this hill goes down and then it slowly starts to go up again. The fort is like just over here on the top of a hill. But that is some more of town and kind of like traversing it. Wonderful stuff. Lots of hills. Those aren't even the bad hills. Those are the hills that like I do constantly in game and I'm doing okay. And I didn't even think, because I was like, there's no way they're gonna make us go up the mountain again, or what I call the mountain, because it's hella steep. No, they made us go up the mountain again this game. I couldn't even go up and down my 3 steps yesterday. I was relegated to bed in the bathroom, and that was it. So where is... Oh, I think it's... I want this one next. Because this one... Let me see it. Ta-da! Inside the fort. This inside the fort... It really is. I call it a mountain, and I'm like, yes, it's a mountain. Hell Portal is apparently on top of a mountain. You would think it would be much lower, but no. You gotta move the Hell Portal to the top of the mountain to fight the demons in Hell. But that was last game. This game, we went on a shaman quest there. And that's a funny story. And I'm glad it'll be one of the last ones I talk about. But yeah, shaman story, great. Shaman quest, let's go. But yeah, inside here, and actually I took a picture from the perfect spot in here to explain one of our fights for later. It's like I had forethought for once in my life. Okay, I'm gonna just merge that one with that one. It would make a new one. And then I would like to merge you so I can make you smaller. Thank you. See, guys, I'm knowing how to do things. Rice ball! So, the shaman quest that I was talking about, this is Rice Ball. He plays Capricorn, who is our shaman. So, yes, trauma is right. All of the emotional trauma. And thanks for following me when I was offline. Greatly appreciate it. I'm putting together a brief map of town and stuff. And I think I'm doing an okay job for making just a very quick, concise map. We got Dragon Camp, which overlooks town, and then from town you can see these, and then from there behind some trees is the Stein Gate, and then we go up the hill, and we got the fort. And then, what's this next picture? Oh, these are everywhere. So, little ground squirrels, or groundhogs, I think they're ground squirrels, frickin' everywhere. Death traps, the lot of them. But as you can see, that's my foot, and I may have a small foot, but comparatively, my foot is like perfect size for that hole. Take your right out if you step in them wrong. Prairie dogs, yes. Little prairie dogs. And one of them, I love watching him. So all last game, there was one that every time a big... Oh, fair enough, Rice Ball. Don't be watching me while you drive. Be safe. Yeah, no, you could end up in Narnia if I'm not careful. But yeah, these are everywhere. But there's one that every time a fight broke out in town, and I would hang out at Dragon Camp and just kind of watch from a distance because I'm like, I'm not getting involved in that shit. I would see a little prairie dog, a little ground squirrel, run up and like stare downtown, like right outside. This one I can actually just close. And he would be like, so if I'm sitting like right here watching town, this little ground squirrel would run up to like right about here, and he would like watch the fight, and then he would like bluff charge in, but then turn around and be like, no, actually these things are scary, I'm out of here, and he would book her back and then into a hole. And I was just like, one of these times there's gonna be a ground squirrel in the fight. And like we're gonna have a very interesting encounter. So yeah, this one I will shoot down there because we don't need that one up the whole time. And then let's see, what's this? Oh, this is the view from so if you're standing over by the fort. Yes, no worthy opponent. Yeah, pretty much. I think when I played in Calidor, like my very first games, squirrels would steal our wisps. because like if you didn't pick them up in time or anything like that, they're filled with bird seed, mostly for if you can't find them, they get like lost in the trees and that they're not going to like environmentally damage anything. But the squirrels would steal them, and then they would be like eating them, but sometimes they wouldn't like fully eat it, or they would give up and they would drop them from the trees. And if a shaper happened to be nearby and a wisp fell out of a tree and it hit someone or hit near someone, uh, they would basically be like, yeah, no, that explodes in like a fireball for like stupid amounts of damage. So we basically had almost like demon squirrels shooting fireballs. I know people gave them a name, and that maybe Riceball can say when he comes back, but yeah, they were terrifying. And now we have ground squirrels, and I had a mouse friend called Sir Squeak Thief that I will talk about later as well. Don't let me forget. But yeah, this is the view down. Da, 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 da. The view down from the fort. So if you were at the fort and you were looking down over here, you would see this nice big wide open field. They weren't here this game, but down over here where this little shed is, there's a group of Ajanti. I believe they call themselves Mud Camp. They were camping there last game. We got some more outhouses. And then I think I have it in here somewhere. Oh, it might be my next photo. But just over here is, frick, what's it called? It's basically like a magic circle that's like protected, but if you die and when you respawn, it's one of them that you can go to. It's also the only one that I actually know of, so it's a good thing I haven't died yet because I don't actually know where to go when I die. I think there's one over behind Dragon Camp somewhere, but this one's one of them. And it's also the magic circle last game that we were all hiding in when stuff started falling from the sky. Okay, you guys can go down one more. Perfect. We'll group all those together. So yeah, looking good so far. Next one. Ah, yes, it's sideways, but let's go. Flip. What do you mean? Oh, because I'm on the wrong. Don't you sass me. There we go. Turning it around. My thing's gotta load. And I'm gonna be really sad when it finally crashes on me. Okay. Load. There we go. So yeah, there's like a cute little cabin there. And then like a little fire pit. And then last game there was like a little gazebo tent over here as well. But I didn't see it this time, so I'm not sure if somebody else brought that and set it up, but... Henge! I think they're called henges. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. But that's what I'm gonna call it. The little resurrection henge. And so that's right over there in the corner. So we're gonna woo, put it over there. Beautiful. Okay. And then... Oh, I just have one more picture. I realized I didn't get any of the It's a good thing I don't have a quote command. Actually, wait. I might have a quote command. I don't think I have it set up though. Okay. Cause yeah, I think on my Streamlabs I can do quotes. Here, let me see if I add a quote, if that'll work. Insert my quote here. It's called Henges. Yeah. Okay, so I was right. It was Mud Camp I was talking about. Yes, we do love dancing foxes. They are the Ajas that Dragon Camp is all for. And yes, arcane squirrels. They threw fireballs at people. Thank you so much, Rice Ball. I'm trying to see if I can set up quotes. Let's see. Don't quote me on that. Jiki. Where do we? August 2025. Oh my gosh, I can't spell. Okay. Okay. Now let's see if we do... Ah, frick. There we go. I do have quotes, I just didn't have quotes. So, yeah, I can add more if we want. Oh, hey, I didn't even have to put the date. It did it for me anyway. Well, I'll have to fix that later. Okay, and then... So, from this view, if we go down this very steep hill, and then there's a path that goes through that like pops out kind of behind town over on this side, and then it goes straight through where Mud Camp was. Oops. And then if you keep going that way, that is where the frickin' Death Mountain is, and I really, really gotta stop going until I get a little bit more fit, because oh man, it kills my legs every time. But I didn't think to get a picture of it. And then I think this next one, okay, this one is relevant for later, but I don't have quite the area on my map for it, so we're gonna just close that as well. And then we shall start our adventure talks. So, first we need what happened last game, and then I'm gonna try and remember all of the lore that was told to me in between games to set up for what was happening this weekend. So, last moon, or last month, demons galore. Demons galore, there was a hell gate open, they were just prancing in whenever they wanted. Bad time. We also had the evil guys from up on the floating island. that apparently kidnap kids. I think was one of the things that they did. They kidnap kids and they basically sacrifice them and use them for power and stuff. So bad, bad, bad guys. And then like yeah, the little sky island was like falling down, but it still remained in the sky. We had a giant magical circle rip open that's pulsing out blasts of magic that are ouchy. No, even if they're little shits, we cannot have bad guys killing kids. It's bad time. So all that was going down. We went to hell. We beat up some demons. We stole a book. And the book is really cool because if you're a mage, every so often, so like when you first come to game, and then I think it is 6 o'clock the next day, so 6 o'clock on Saturday, you have to rework your spells. So you have to like relearn them. You have to spend 10 minutes sitting there reading them, planning out which ones you want to have, making sure you have them written down. And this book that we stole, which I wish I could have gotten a picture of the prop, but when I was out taking pictures, Ray wasn't there yet. And now I think our guild master, Marika? I think Marika is her name. She has it now. So we got that book, and it basically has every single spell known. So you can use it to relearn your spells. So if you ever lose your spell book, or if say you're like me and maybe next game I get 5th level spells but I don't own a 5th level scroll yet, I can go to that book and I can read up on my 5th level spells, and then I can learn them that way. So very handy book. No, I think it's spelled like Mari and then Ka, so Marika. Actually, they are a streamer as well. Distracted Elf, I believe, is their name. If they are streaming later, I will raid them. But yeah, definitely. Actually, I wonder if I can shout them out. Is that how my shout out works? If I go shout out distracted elf. No, that's not how my shout out works. Jaded, I still don't know how to do shout outs. Oh. Well, I tried. But yeah, I'm pretty sure their name is Distracted Elf. They are very awesome. They talk about D&D and LARP, and they play games. Oh, do they need to be in chat? Well, hopefully she doesn't come into my chat. I think I would panic a little bit. No. I could maybe do you. Let's see. We go shout out. I gotta do at. Oh. Hey, oh yeah, because then a list pops up. Oh. Use Alt up. Oh. So I have to do I have to type out shout out. I'm learning. Nope. Get back in there. So if we do slash, nope, slash, shout out. Oh, welcome back, Graceball. We're trying to figure out. Oh, I have to wait 1 minute before I can give another shout out. I didn't even properly give a shout out. I can't believe it. So yeah, I'm trying to remember lore, and then I got distracted and was talking about America, and then was trying to see if I could if I could shout her out. But yes, Distracted Elf is hers. She is awesome. She does YouTube stuff as well. Um, Talks about D&D stuff, talks about LARP, plays a whole bunch of games. So I definitely recommend if you love this nerdy talk. She does a way better job than me. But yeah, so she has the fancy book now. No, it's America. It's give me my pen. I'm pretty sure it's America, not America. But yeah, she's our little guild leader. But yeah, she has the fancy book now. And then that was kind of where last game ended. So this game opened up with there was Warcry, I think, down in Ontario this year. Oh, America. Okay, hold on. Thank you, Raceball. It's Mareike. America. Oh, Dastin. That horribly derailed my brain. So what happened? So Warcry happened. And the events of Warcry set into motion some other stuff. So if I recall correctly, and Riceball, you may have to correct me on this, it was the Demon King stole not our Necromancer Thade, but Thade is the name of a orb of necromancy. So it's basically a sentient orb that has like magical powers and stuff. And Orb Thade belonged to Stiphan, the black dragon that has way too many legs. That is basically the dragon of necromancy. And they kind of like went to war. Stiphan, like a lot. Like I don't even know. I just know that Baron basically tells me about him all the time, and then he reminds me that like he has so many legs. And I'm like, no, I don't like Centipede Dragon. But he is pretty cool because the Stiphan is also all about like I have a plan for everything. So like you can't outwit me. Even if you outpower me, you'll never outwit me, sort of thing. And he just wants to murder all the gods. He's like, get them the fuck out of here. But he was fighting with the Hell King. He then disappeared into like a shadow, or he melted into shadow. So some people for a bit thought that he was dead. And knowing a necromancer in my life, I went, no, Stiphen's not dead. But a lot of people thought that Stiphen died. The orb Thade was taken by the Demon King, and they were basically hanging out for a bit. Stiphen then reappeared, I think, started gathering forces to him. So he was asking other dragons, he was asking the people, he was like, come, join my army, where you're going to go murder the fuck out of the Hell King. And so a lot of people and a lot of dragons were like, yeah, let's go murder Demon King. And then what ended up happening was, I think the orb Thade was pretending to be on the Demon King's side, and then was just like, hey, Demon King. I can't remember what he called Stiphen. He had a cool name for him. But he was like, yeah, Stiphen sends his regards, and then just blasted the Demon King with some necromancy powers, and then took off and went back to Stiphen. So it was like, okay. Then I think during Warcry, they managed to beat the Hell King. Stiphen got mad at all the god worshippers that were basically trying to start god stuff on his land. The Black sends his regards. That's right. I knew it sounded way cooler. The Black sends his regards. And then blasted him. And then, yeah, so then Stiphen afterwards got super mad at all the god followers. And he told them, stop doing god shit on his land. And they didn't. So he breath weaponed all of them. And basically, I think, murdered a whole bunch of people. And yeah, then he like kind of went back to his little place and was like, cool. He's like, I'm done for a bit, let's go. And then I think in that time, there was an emperor of Bouffant, which is supposed to be important, but my little brain cannot remember why. I just know Bouffant is kind of like, I guess it'd be like Julius Caesar in Rome. So like they have all of the like little places under their control, and you kind of like have to look up to them and be like, ah, yes, our emperor. Oh, angels protected them? Oh, frickin' angels getting in the way. So I guess he didn't murder a whole bunch of people, which is probably a good thing. Because Plot probably would have had very sad people if they just murdered everybody with a dragon. But yes, so the Emperor of Bouffant may or may not have been murdered by the Conclave. And the Conclave is basically if you do magic, you have to be authorized by the Conclave. So they're the ones that you have to pay a gold, and then you get a little ticket for a year to say, yes, I am legal, I got my papers, I can do magic. And I think like our guildmaster works under the Conclave, and our Thade is scribe to the Lich that is higher up in the Conclave. So like they're a big deal. But yes, the Emperor of Bouffant may or may not have been murdered or assassinated by the Conclave. Those are rumors. We are not supposed to talk about it. Oh, only in the Bouffant territory? So I think our guild is considered Bouffant territory. Is how I remember it, because I know we had to pay our taxes. We paid our taxes just before the conclave may have become the big bad. But that is hearsay, and we're not supposed to talk about it. And then the one thing we're really not supposed to talk about is you do not mention the Black Tower. The Black Tower is not real. The Black Tower cannot hurt you. The Black Tower is not allowed to be talked about. I have since learned, by asking somebody after being told that, what the fuck a Black Tower is, that in the, like, with magic, there were 3 towers. There's a white one, a red one, and then there was a black one. And basically the black one was like your like necromancy and kind of all of the magic that is kind of big no-nos. But I guess after the big fight and after the Emperor was murdered, the Black Tower reemerged, and kind of the leader of that tower was just like, yo, I'm in charge now. And with him being in charge, and this was kind of one of the big points for our game. Oh no, it still doesn't. Oh no, that's what they say. It doesn't exist. It can't hurt you. It's not real. Oh, don't do it. My screen almost shut off. Yeah, for sure. It can't hurt you. It's not real. Don't talk about it. But yeah, so maybe the guy from the Black Tower, that's not real. It is totally real, but not real at the same time. But yeah, I think the leader of it was just like, yeah, I'm in charge now, and I'm gonna do some messed up shit. So there's a race that you can be, and that hangs out in the world, called a Gargolin. And Gargolins, I can't remember their full backstory, but they were basically created, and they didn't have free will at first, I don't think. And then at some point, they gained their free will, and they became your average citizen, and they're super cool. We have one in our camp. Her name is Twig. It's not a D's nuts joke. But yeah, so they have free will now. They do their own thing. They're very happy. Guy comes out of the tower and he goes, no. I want them all under my control. So he sent out this big blast of basically mind control magic that has taken over a lot of Gargolins. So now all the Gargolins are basically drawn and keep heading to the Skyn Gate to go over to basically the not real Black Tower and Conclave to be little mind controlled slaves for them. So back at our town, we have near us, I think they're a Gargolin, called the First One, maybe. And they basically were like, hey, I don't want my people going to be slaves. We have a way to keep them safe and to break their mind control for a bit. So if you see a gargolin heading towards the Skyne Gate and they seem to be mind controlled, please try not to hurt them, but please like knock them out, tie them up, and bring them back to me. I will give you 10 gold for your efforts, and yeah, we will help them. So basically everybody was on high alert all weekend, being like, gargolins? No. Bad gargolins. Stay where you are. I believe several were turned into pigs at various points. A lot of them were snared. I think people got in trouble if they beat them up into their bleed and or death counts. Because we didn't want to hurt the gargolins. The gargolins are our friends. They're just mind controlled. So that was a big thing. And then the other big thing was that there was still... Oh, here, Riceball's going to correct me. So they were made by the Conclave... Oh, they were made by the Conclave many, many years ago by using angel essence to make advanced constructs. They got made to be good and gained souls, and after a while gained relative freedom. Conclave have been mad about it since. Okay, yeah, so they were made by the Conclave to be nice little slaves, and then they got their own souls at one point, got free, and I guess the Conclave has been very, very mad about that, as any slave owner would be. And yeah, now they kind of want them back. But we're not going to give them back, because we like our gargolin friends. And you get 10 gold for bringing them back, and so, like, that's a great deal. What else was the big plot point of this weekend? So there was the gargolins escaping, and then... Oh! And then the floating island in the sky that is still slowly crumbling, but it's still got some bad guys up there. And even though we shut the hell portal, frickin' demons are still coming through. Shaking my head. Frickin' demons. But yeah, so then I think that drops us into game. It is now cold and wet, I believe. Yeah, demon's gonna demon. For sure. But yeah, and I think that brings us into game, where we start off in Dragon Camp. We have 2 new faces from last time, which are Breaker, and I don't know exactly what race he was. He looked very human to me, but I think Baron said that he was like almost like a wild man of sorts. I'll have to get confirmation on that later. But an Amrath. Amrath? He's a special peoples. But I know he liked to go murder things. A primitive human. Oh. Because, yeah, he had cool, like, blue tattoos on the top of his head. So I knew he wasn't just human, or, like, Einer or anything like that. Well, bye-bye, Dastin! Hopefully you can hear the rest of the stories later. Or I can tell you... I can tell you them all later, too. So, his name was Breaker. And then we had Twig, which was our Gargolin. And then we had our our regulars, our favorites. We had Capricorn, we had Sithis, we had Thade, we had Beatrice, Andric was there. One day I'll remember his name. Our blacksmith, I said it earlier. And then there was Andric. As soon as it'll come to me. Urslack! Yes! Thank you, Raceball. I said it earlier. I knew it earlier. But yeah, we were all hanging out. And then from town, and then this is where my recollection is going to be very, very bad because it was dark and it was night, and I don't have night vision at all. Even if I wanted to, I can't see anything. I can't tell anybody apart. But from town, we hear very scared yelling, and a guy is running towards Dragon Camp, screaming about how we need to sing or dance or make like rhythmic sounds, play an instrument, something, because we needed to subdue a banshee. And immediately, as I was going up to him to see what exactly was going on and if he could give me a better description of like, hey, slow down, can you tell me what exactly is going on? There was a scream, and then suddenly a death packet flew and hit him square in the shoulders, and he dropped dead in front of me. So, ran back to Dragon Camp, went, dude, there's banshees and shit over there. We need a healer, please and thanks. Brought the guy back up. He basically said that we had to reunite each of these banshees that were running around with their kind of like soulmate soul that's also wandering around. And we could calm them and basically like keep them subdued if we did like music and stuff. So Capricorn, the smart thinker that he is, had a shield and a stick, and so was rhythmically beating the shield with the stick so we could round some up. And once we got a soul and a banshee together, we then basically, I think everybody just defaulted to like a marriage ceremony. Basically. And then we all had to say nice things about them and basically be like, we all wish you well on your journeys and your afterlife and hope you're not really live long and prosper because like they're already dead, but like that sort of stuff, right? Like you're just supposed to be like, yeah, we want you to be happy and go away. You are the mystic guy. You do have to be on your toes with ghosts. And yeah, so I think I saw 3 different banshees at least getting married and sent off. So I'm not sure if there was more than that, but I witnessed 3 of them. And then after it was just the 3, sweet. So yeah, we did successfully send off all the banshees. And then I'm trying to remember what else happened that night. Because I mostly just remember the banshees. And then I remember going to bed. So there might not have been much else that I saw that night. Apart from talking with people and getting cozy. And then the next morning. Oh, that's all you remember too? That might have been all we did, and then all went to bed, because I think we were all dead. Because, like, I know Sithis didn't get, like, any sleep before coming, and, like, we were all tired and sore. So, that might have been all we did. And then, yeah, so the next morning, Lilliana went for a walk around the world. Well, not really. She went to plot camp. So my next little recollection is I wasn't there for anything else that was happening, but I was the monsters and stuff. So the first mod that I got to do was we decided to wake up the town and dragon camp by being hellhounds. So we were told to go out, bite people, claw them a bit, hamstring their legs, make the healers use their magic, is basically our guiding force. So, thankfully, and quite terrifyingly, as I was trying to learn how to be somebody other than a little human druid, and remember all the cool stuff that they gave me and what it did, we show up to Dragon Camp. We hell walk out of there and howl, and then I come face to face with Sithis. And thankfully, he was nice enough to let me take my time to remember stuff so that I could warm up and do it. I did absolutely nothing to him at all. I think I got a hamstring in, but he had something to counteract it, so it didn't affect him. Most of my stuff didn't really breach his defenses, and he very swiftly murdered me. So then we just had to basically keep coming back in and spawning. I know Sithis used me as a practice for Beatrice. He whacked me a few times and then let Beatrice fight me, giving them pointers along the way. And then we went and we terrorized town, and then at that point I was kind of warmed up and knew what I was doing, and I managed to actually hamstring a couple of people, so that was fun. And I don't think I downed anybody as a hellhound, but I definitely injured a few people that ran away from me. So that was fun. Got murdered as hellhounds, went back to plot camp. The second thing for plot camp was we had a role-playing mod. So me and another guy got to dress up as these wild elves from the Jackal tribe. And so the Jackal wild elves are all about using necromancy to keep like bad undead and stuff out of town. So they're town's friends. And our little roleplay mod was me and this other guy were not quite angsty teenagers, but we were just like, I don't want to do necromancy. Everybody does necromancy. Like, mom and dad want us to do it, but like, what if we don't want to be undead, like, fight undead for our mortal lives and then come back and fight undead as undead? Like, what if I don't want to do that? I want to do something different. Like, what if I want to do, like, nature magic? Or what if I want to, like, be a blacksmith? So, like, not quite angsty teenagers, but teenagers who don't want to do tradition. They want to do something different. And so we were sent to go talk with Thade, and he gave us some very good life lessons and basically convinced us that we could do necromancy, learn it, because like it'll be handy, and it'll get like our parents off of our back. But then he also pointed out that we're elves, we're gonna live a long time, so why not like learn the necromancy, and then as we're older, then we can learn a second skill. And then maybe find our place that way. And so we were like, he makes a pretty good point. So went back to plot camp. Basically, it was like, yeah, no, Thade actually gave some decent advice, and the guildmaster who showed us the way to him said that we should be free to choose. And I think we also talked with one of the healers, Gerald, and he basically was like, don't do necromancy. He was like, it's bleh. So we were like, okay. So we got two people saying that we have the right to choose, but one says that we should choose later. One says that we should just choose whatever we want. And then we have one person going, don't do it. So that was pretty fun. And then after that, then we were the bandits. So this is where this picture comes in handy. So we came out as bandits. And the only thing that plot camp basically told us was, your bandits, go harass the town. And we're like, do we have any like backstory? Do we have anything like that? And they were like, make it up as you go. So we were like, cool, we got this. So all of us went out, and we were all like, okay, these are our names. We're gonna be farmers. And we're going to be very fed up farmers, because we have to keep paying taxes. We're poor. We're broke. The Buffontians keep coming in and waving their tax papers at us, and they keep taking our taxes and taking part of our crops and like livestock and stuff. We're done. So we're going to turn to bandits, and we're going to go take back what is ours from this town, because everybody there is like loaded and rich, and like they got fancy armor and papers, so they must be with the same as the tax man. So we're gonna go get our stuff back. And then so we had figured out that we're like, okay, if we see like one or two people, we're gonna surround them and shank them. If there's a big group, we're gonna try like talking. Like, we're stupid, but we're not like stupid to fight like 12 armed adventurers. So that's when we learned that basically town and dragon camp are always in groups of like 7 to 12 people. So we were like, oh, okay. So then we had some nice people that were actually giving us items to be like, yeah, no, like just take this. And then we had a couple of people that were just like, hey, are those stilettos in your hands? And so all of us that had stilettos were like, maybe. No, actually, wait, there are kitchen knives that we filed down to like cut the tomatoes off the vine better, or like, for like killing the pigs for slaughtering. And then they were like, you know that to own a stiletto you need paperwork, right? And we were like, how much is the paperwork? And they're like, a gold. And we're like, oh, you think we have a gold to spend on paperwork? Get out of here. And then so basically negotiations failed at one point, and we had to start actually, I think what kicked it off was our leader of our bandits grabbed one of the weapons of the adventurers and took off with it. So we had to start murdering at that point. Didn't work. Townsfolk very easily murdered us, realized that we didn't have much on us. Every time, I think I only got to spawn in once more, and then once again came face to face with Sithis. And this monster of a draconian my poor little 3 body that I was doing didn't touch him. And then he snared me. I reposted it, which basically reflected it back at him. And then he had a reflect on him, and so it came right back to me as we Ganondorfed it. Very poorly, because I lost. I only had 1 repost. And yeah, it tangled me up. They knocked me out. They took the rest of my stuff. They took my stiletto. And I think after that, that mod was done. The townsfolk, some of them did give us some more stuff as we were leaving. And they were just like, hey, stop it. Be better. And so we were like, oh, okay. Maybe. Thanks for the stuff. We're out of here. And then, yeah, so we went back to plot camp. And then they were just like, you guys only have like 30 minutes left on your, or less than 30 minutes, I think, at that point, on your shift. And so they were just like, you guys up for 1 more mod before you go? And so all of us were like, yeah, let's do 1 more mod. And they're like, cool, suit up as demons. So we were like, sweet deal. Let's go be demons and terrorize the town. So it ended up that 2 of us were demons, and we were called horned demons. And we were pretty tanky. I believe we had 60 health and 60 armor. And we had a silver threshold. So the only thing that could damage us was silver or magic. So if they were just doing normal calls, those didn't work. If they called out iron, that didn't work. It had to either be a silver call or a magic call. And this is when I learned that apparently, if I am dual wielding claws and I am swinging for 5 magic fire, I am a terror. Because we strolled into town, us 2 horned demons, and I think we had 6 or 7 imps in total. I think I only ever had like 5 with me at a time, though. I think we lost 2 at one point. But yeah, so 2 demons and a couple of imps. And we were like, sweet. And our imps were bound determined that we needed a better place than hell to play. So they dragged me and my fellow horn demon as kind of like bodyguards so that they can go play in the human world. So first we pop up into town, and my imps are forcing us to dance around, and we're like, oh, really? And then townsfolk came. So, like the good little imp sitter that I am, I'm like, nah, get out of here. This is our territory now. And, yeah, town didn't like that. Oh, I forgot part of my bandit story. The whole reason I had this, so you see these goats? Right in this grass? Hold on, we're backpedaling here. I'm a bandit again. Yeah, one of our bandits took one of these goats and sold it back to the adventurers. And that will pop up later. Oh. There we go. So yeah. Basically, as a demon again, told townsfolk, get out of here. They didn't think that was decent, so they were like, nah, we're gonna murder you. And then everybody who started fighting me was using normal. So then I had to be like, no effect, no effect, no effect. And I was very quickly learned that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell everybody like once if their attacks are effective or not. Because soon I had like 3 people bapping me with sticks. And I think I downed 1 person in that fight, and then the big guy in town. He's some sort of barbarian of sorts. But he came up to me and he hit me with normal at first, and that didn't work. So he was just like, that didn't work. And then another guy came up and bought me for iron. And I was like, no, that's not effective either. And he was like, oh, okay. And then they're like, normal and iron don't work. And they're like, okay, bring out the silver weapons. And then I had people come swinging me for magic, and then they had silver weapons, and then they brought me down pretty quickly. But I greatly injured, and I brought down a couple of people, definitely before that. So then, I think we respawned once there, and then we went out to Dragon Camp. And then this is where I feel really, really bad. Because we hell step into Dragon Camp, and the imps are like, yes, this is now Hell 2. This is our place. And so I was like, okay, well, imps, if we're gonna claim it, we gotta clear it out of, like, the people. Like, they're gonna be a problem. So I tried, slowly walked up, was like, hey, this is our camp now, get out. And then Capricorn, with his audacity, was just like, no, wait, hold on. Maybe we can talk. You really do need to take demons and imps more seriously. And then, unbeknownst to my knowledge, apparently, Capricorn is rocking this thing called bark skin, which my fire damage does double for. So every time I bopped him with 5 magic fire, I was actually doing 10 magic fire. And so we proceeded to very swiftly murder Dragon Camp, because like Thade and Gerald and Sithis were all in the tent doing a ritual. Yeah, but 40 extra armor is very handy, just not against horned demons. And then I feel so bad because we have a dark elf that comes and hangs out with us, Vivi. I forget her full name. It's like Vient or something like that. But I felt so bad because I guess when I murdered her, she actually died. So everybody else that I murdered was brought back up and was good to go. We wasted the healer's healing spells, which was kind of the point of our mod. And I did actually kill her. And so she had to go through the res circle. And so I felt very, very bad about that. And then, yeah, after that, Lilliana was back. She missed all the excitement for that part. And then I had to take a break for a bit. So what happened during my little break was, I believe somebody came by and they were like, hey, we really need people to distract some stone elementals while we do some mining. And this is where, like, I had the biggest test of my life. Because I, Lilliana, am a stone elemental magic caster. I have 2 spells that would have been perfect. Absolutely perfect for this mod. But my back was really sore. And I was like, okay, I could down some more ibuprofen and go on this mod and prove my worth and be like, fuck yeah, this is what I was born to do. Or I could be good and I could sit in camp and I could rest so that I could do the bigger mods that are coming out later. And so I had to choose. And you guys should all be proud of me. I chose to stay at camp and rest like a good little kitsune. So, missed out on that, but was kind of sad because I was like, oh, that was my calling. I could have been so great. But then after that, there was another guy came up, and they were just like, hey, there's a strange man in town with a baby crab. And so me and Twig were just like, oh, I want to go see a baby crab. Like, let's go. So we took off into town, get to town, see the little baby crab, pet him, are super thrilled with it. And then the guy who owned him was just like, hey, so we're having problems down at the docks and like the ocean. There's a baby kraken in the water and it's causing issues, and we don't really want it there. We want it to go back out into the deep water. So we don't really want you to like kill it, but we need you to like whack its tentacles and drive it back into the deeper water. And so me and Twig were like, not sure we're going to be able to do much, but kind of want to see a kraken. And maybe we can like help out a little bit. And if it gets too bad, we're going to run. So we made a deal. We're like, okay, if it gets too bad, we run. And like everybody's on their own. And if we can, we'll help out a little bit. So immediately we get to the beach and tentacles are way bigger than we thought. The beach being, I guess, I don't really have a picture of it. But like we had to go through town here, down this little walkway, up towards plot camp, and then the beach was kind of like right back here. And yeah, we immediately get to the beach. Tentacles, way bigger. Baby krakens are still huge, huge things. And we were like, yeah, that's beyond our scope. But we're like, but if somebody goes like down on the beach, we can grab them and bring them back, right? We can do that. So we were hanging back. Everybody else rushes forward and starts bapping tentacles. And then the guy who kind of hired us, he wasn't actually paying us at that moment, was just like, hey, why don't you guys, like, your friends are all fighting, go up there and fight. And I was just like, yeah, best I got right now for this is I got a bapping stick. And I'm like, and I don't do very much. And he was like, oh, I can fix that. So he's like, come here. So I get closer to him. And he gives me Strength of the Bear. So suddenly I can do more damage. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to go bap some tentacles. He's in the middle of... I don't even know how much I would have actually have done with Strength of the Bear, because he was in the middle of telling me when I suddenly get hit with a packet, and then everyone around me goes, hey, you got grabbed by a tentacle. Go out in the water. And I was like, oh. So immediately as you're grabbed, you can't do anything. You're just dragged along. And so at that moment as well, they also started driving the Kraken back. So very slowly, I am being dragged into deeper and deeper water. And it was at this moment that it was like, does my character actually know how to swim? Because we're about to have a bad time. And then, yeah, they were just like, okay, if you're past this line now, you're basically swamp walked, which is you have to walk very, very slowly. And we were also underwater. So now we are also drowning. It was at that moment they finally freed me from the little tentacle that was holding me. And I think I managed to swamp walk out of there before I drowned with 10 seconds left. And of course, Sithis, being on the NPC one at that time, was so very helpfully standing behind me with a boffer above my head being like, hey, water level is here, you'll stop drowning if you can get your head above it. And I was like, but I'm short! I'm too short to get above the water line. So yeah, with 10 seconds left, I managed to get back into shallow water. And then I get back on shore and I was like, yeah, never, Twig, I'm never going to fight a Kraken again. And she was like, oh, but you were amazing out there. And I was like, what do you mean, Twig? I'm like, I stepped onto the beach and I immediately got dragged into the water. And she was like, yeah, but your swimming was so graceful. And I was like, God damn it. So, yeah, basically, Lilliana has sworn to never fight a Kraken again. So, good luck, merchant man at the docks. Like, I'm never coming back. You can forget that nonsense. You can keep your cute baby crabs. And then, yeah, then we went back to town. And then I think from town, the merchant guy was like, hey, I think he said next moon, so probably next game, he's gonna have a bunch of stuff come in that he'll need help, like either transporting or making sure it arrives safely or something like that. And he said that he will pay everybody very well then. But if it involves another Kraken, like, I'm out. Too tough for me. Or I gotta go in with spells. Because at that point, I only had certain spells and they weren't going to work. And then yeah, so we went back down, went back to Dragon Camp, rested for a bit. And then what happened after the Kraken? So then after the Kraken was... I'm not sure. But I do know the next point of interest in my memory was after a spell reset. So I took my 10 minutes to memorize my spells. We went to go fight a undead Hydra. So I believe it was Andric came up to camp and he was like, hey, Dragon Camp. Sithis really wants a cool new hat. And we were like, fair, Sithis deserves a cool new hat. Like, of course. Like, what do we got to do to get him a cool new hat? And he was just like, we're going to go fight a Hydra. And we were like, okay, less confident, but like, you know, it's for Sithis. He helps us out. He's really cool. No, I think we did the keep after the Hydra. Or did we do the keep? No, we did the keep after the Hydra. Because I was out of some things, I think. Or maybe it was, did we do the Hydra actually before a spell reset? And then the keep was after? That might have been it. I might have gotten my time slightly mixed up. I think the Hydra was before the spell reset. Because I think I was still missing some from the night before. Because I could only do like 1 or 2 things against the Hydra, I remember. But Hydra was definitely before the keep. Six to 9? Did we do the keep then before? We must have, because you were at the keep. LARP fuzzies my brain. Okay, well, then I guess we will talk about the keep first. Wipe the Hydra from your memories. We're going to the keep. So I guess we would have still been chilling at camp because that's just what we do. Chilling at camp, and then we are told that everybody was gathering. We were going to go get a ritual back from the bad guys up on the floating island. And so we all had to go gather. So we were like, cool. So as we were walking there, I was very discreetly told, they were like, hey, they're like, ritual is one thing. Oh, was the keep right after the golem mining? You know, I'm going to trust you. You have a better time sense than me. So yeah, so we must have been chilling at camp, got told we all got to go to the keep. We're going to do some crazy portal shit again. And then yeah, on the way there, I was very discreetly told, hey, we're going to go for this ritual, but also we're getting an orb. If you happen to get the orb, do not give it to any high mages or anyone in the conclave. And so my little character was like, uh-huh? What orb? Like, what are we talking about? And then they were just like gone. And she was like, okay, so orb? Do not give. Got it. And then, so I had to like go up to Thade, and I was like, Thade, are you considered a high mage? And he was like, no. And I'm like, is Sithis considered a high mage? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he was like, why? And I was like, oh, well, I was told that, like, if I get an orb, not to give it to a high mage. And I was just like, and I don't have a use for an orb that I know of. And I was like, so I was gonna give it to, like, Dragon Camp. But on the off chance I invoke the ire of the town, I figured I should, double check first. And he was like, oh, no. He's like, you don't want to give it to, yes, orbs are a big deal. They are orbs of power. And yeah, just like Thade, Orb Thade, not our Thade, Orb Thade, is an orb of power. And so apparently this orb that I was warned about is the orb of protections. And yeah, I was basically told that no, Dragon Camp was clear. Who I would have to avoid giving it to, though, was the Lich of the Conclave. So the Lich was there, and he was just like, okay, everybody, shut your mouths. I'm talking now. And we're like, okay. Because he has a penchant for deathing people for fun. So we were just like, yeah, no, don't, he says shut up, we shut up. Let's go. And he was just like, I'm going to basically use my body to open up a portal. And we're gonna have to, like, break up into teams because I need mages, at least one mage, to channel magic into the portal so that it stays open. So we were like, okay, cool. And then, of course, they were like, chances are this is going to cause some upset. We should have guard detail for the mages. And then we're going to need a strike team to go... the orbs break the rules of normal magic? You know, I don't doubt that. They are pretty powerful things. From my understanding. Because isn't the... Yeah. Because, yeah, the one of protection is we were trying to get it so we could give it to the first Gargolin, the one that I was talking about earlier that was giving 10 gold apiece for returning Gargolin safely to them. We were going to give it to them so that they could break the mind spells over the Gargolins. Hopefully for good, so that they stop trying to run away. But yeah, so we have mage detail to keep the portal open. We got guard detail to keep the mages safe. And then there was strike force to go in and get the ritual. And so we were like, okay. So the first citizen leader of Swordestead? Fair enough. I'll take your word on that. I knew they were the first something. First citizen. So yeah, I think America then went around and started organizing everybody into groups. I blasted off the last couple of my really useful spells. That's fair. I'm also very good with knowing some names and not spelling. But yeah, so we were all organized. I blasted off the last couple of my like super useful spells. So I gave Breaker and Twig because they were on the strike team, and I figured the strike team would be having a rougher time of it than us back at the portal trying to keep it open. We will learn very quickly that that was the wrong assumption. But I gave them my elemental shield, or shields that I had prepped. And then I think that was it for my prep. And then I was out of blasts. Yeah. So I just had my elemental shields. Oh no, I had one. I gave Twig. That's right. I gave Twig one of my elemental blades so that they could swing for some extra magic. So I gave them an elemental blade and I gave them elemental shields, and I was like, cool. I was just like, they're gonna be at least safe for 2 seconds. Our newbies aren't gonna immediately die. So I was like, cool. We got this. And then I was like, oh, and then like Sithis is staying back. He's gonna be on guard detail. I'm like, oh, ours is gonna be easy cakewalk. I was like, he's got his big shield. We're safe. Got Capricorn here. Double safe. We got the Draconians. Portal duty is gonna be a walk in the park. Yeah. So, we get all the way up to the fort, and I'll zoom into the fort for this. We get all the way up to this fort. The Lich, basically, like, melts, and, like, his bones and stuff all make, like, a portal gate. And then that's when our town leader, America, was like, sweet, Lich can't hear us anymore? Okay, here's what we're doing. They're like, This is our goals. They're like, there are 2 paths past this gate. There's left and right. They're like, left is the orb, right is the ritual. We are going to go for the orb first, and we are going to get that. We are not going to give it to the Lich. Like, do not do it. And so we're all like, okay, in agreement. Strike team leaves. And then I know we had 3 magic channelers. We had Gerald, one of the healers in town. We had Ray, our other healer in town. And then we had me. Tiny little elemental mage. Channeling magic. And so every 3 seconds, we would have to say channeling magic. So I just took that upon myself to keep count, and I was told afterwards by Ray and by Gerald that was actually very handy, that I was keeping count. So I was like, oh, heck yeah. But yeah, as Riceball said in chat, easy for the first 10 minutes. We had they were gargoyles, would drop from the Sky Island. So the place where everybody was going, I believe the Sky Island is called the Fingers, now that I think about it. And that's where everybody went. But basically, gargoyles were dropping off of this island in front of us and landing, and then basically assault rushing, trying to get to the casters holding open the portal. And for the first 10 minutes, easy peasy. They were going down quickly, everybody was able to hold the line, only little healing spells needed to be used. And then, very quickly after that, more waves kept coming. And every time the waves would drop, it was like every third one would be very strong gargoyles. And then it seems like it would ramp up. They would just get tougher and tougher. And then they started doing things like shifting into pure stone, where they couldn't move, but you also couldn't move them or damage them. They were just there. And that was terrifying as a little mage, when one would stone right in front of you and you're like, ah, frick, I gotta keep channeling magic. And that thing's gonna murder me as soon as it's not stone again. Very quickly after that, I learned that I could take a few seconds to run around to a different side of the portal to keep it open before I could resume channeling my magic. So the first couple of times I went down, we were talking about trauma earlier. I am pretty sure Lilliana has trauma with how much she went down and then was immediately brought back up, only to have to start channeling magic again. Because she did not want a repeat of the Hellgate. She was like, we are not leaving our friends behind. Everybody is getting out, and I will die trying to keep this gate open. I will do everything in me to channel magic into this gate to keep it open for our friends to get back. And yeah, it was assault after assault after assault. Everybody was going down. And then we started to run out of healing. And it was not good. We lost Vivi again, and she actually finaled her character during that fight. I guess she was on flips and she didn't pass her flip. So she finaled her character, and then poor Riceball, poor Capricorn, he also went down and couldn't be brought back up in time. I'm not sure I think Gerald went down too. Because I think when I was trying to loot his body to see if there was anything else, I don't know if anybody brought him back up. A crispy. Yeah, everybody was very, very sad. And then, yeah, like, there was some touch and go moments where, like, there was nobody manning the portal. But we managed to, like, always get back to it, like, just in time. And, I don't even know how long we were fighting, but, like, I felt like I was channeling magic for forever. And then finally, people started coming back through the portal. And then that was when, like, my memory kind of goes fuzzy as Liliana, because the first, like, 5 people came through, and one of them was Beatrice, and so she was very happy. Oh, is that what happened to you? Oh, so Capricorn got blasted by 100 elemental fire from one of the big ones, and they had their bark skin on again. So that would have been 200 elemental fire. And I am guessing, even as a draconian, 200 is too much. Yeah. Oh man, that really sucks. Yeah, because I was so focused on channeling magic that it was just like, I would look around and I'm like, oh fuck, somebody else is down. And then I'd have to, like, tap Ray and be like, Ray, get them! Like, I got the portal. Go get them. And then, yeah, I think, like, me and Ray were running around at the end like maniacs, trying to stay out of, yeah. And then this is actually, knowing that, like, definitely I should have put my elemental shield on the people that were guarding us. Because that might have saved you. But yeah, like, I think it was like touch and go with me and Ray for a bit, where, like, if I was down, he was up channeling, and then if he was down, I was up channeling. Oh, elemental drops you straight to your death count? That sucks. So you were insta-dead. You were a very crispy dragon. Left you in the oven too long. Or turned the oven up too high. In this case. Oh, but yeah, I guess I can show. So, let me get my lighter color out. So, like, here was basically the portal. And I was, like, right here for, like, most of the fight. And then my little character, towards the end of it, was, like, over here, and then, like, over here, and then, like, over here, and over here. Trying her best to just stay out of the fight. And then her one tactical decision at one point was she tried to like, back up and get over this way, and there was a guy coming at her from this way, and so I elemental rebuked, which, if it hits, it does 1 magic stone, but it also pushes them back 10 feet, and so she just wanted to get them away from me. But it reflected it back at me, so I took 1 elemental stone, which, surprisingly, somebody had just healed me at that point, so I'm like, oh, I can take that. And then it pushed me back, so it just shot me to the other side of the... And I was like, oh, I was going this way anyway. Let's go. Okay. Channel some more energy into this. Oh, no worries. Enjoy your sandwich, Jade. Also, what kind of sandwich? Is it tasty? And then, yeah, so then everybody, like, was just starting to come back through the portal, and Beatrice made it through, and so Liliana was stoked, because she was just like, yes, last time we left Beatrice, Beatrice is through. Like, I at least got one of my friends back. Let's go. And then immediately, as she was feeling that sense of, fuck yeah, we got this. Everybody's coming back. I was killed. Well, not like killed, but I was put into my bleed count. And so I went down. So then Lilliana didn't see anything that happened next. But from what she's been told, and from what Jiki saw, Beatrice took over channeling energy into the portal. I believe everybody who didn't die on the strike team made it back. So everybody who went basically came back unless they died on the mission. Lilliana was dragged off and stabilized with first aid until somebody shoved some good berries into her mouth. And then as I woke up, the portal shut. And there was just chaos everywhere. Like, people were still fighting gargoyles. And then the magic circle started, like, pulsing. And, like, getting bigger and bigger pulses. And it was, like, for not cool damage. It was, like, it would, like, blow in my direction and I'd be dead. So we all had to vacate the fort as quickly as we could. And then everybody was finishing off the gargoyles. And then, yeah, that's when we learned that, like, we lost people. And they died fighting heroically, getting burned to a crispy little dragon. And then, yeah, and then I think we basically went back to camp and were, like, both excited and sad. Because we were like, damn, like, we lost a couple of people, but that went way better than the Hell Run. Like, because the Hell Run, we lost a lot. And so we were just like, yeah, we still lost people, but way less. I'm just sad that it was two of our friends. We lost Vivi and Capricorn. But luckily, Capricorn came back. Vivi did not. So then, yeah, I guess it was after that we did take a pretty decent break. And then, yeah, we learned that we did get the Orb of Protection. So we were like, oh, fuck yeah. And we did get the ritual. So we were like, yes. At least we accomplished both goals. Hell yeah. Oh, I thought it was just Vivi retired and finaled. So, you were one of the people that died. Or was it 5 total? Because I thought for sure we at least had Corin? Oh, I'd have to see their face to know who Corin is. Damn, rip. I thought we just lost, like, fully 1 person in that fight. I didn't think we lost 2 people completely. Sads. But yeah. Oh, no! You guys... Okay, I'm gonna say it now. I don't think... I don't think bark skin or wooden armor is very safe in Zenny. I think we have too many demons and fiery things. But yeah, so then yeah, I guess after that was when we were able to take a pretty decent rest. And then Andric came back up and was just like, hey, Sithis wants a cool hat. And so all of us which I think was most of us newbies, because Thade was doing a ritual and Sithis was doing a ritual. And then so like, yeah, I think it was, I don't even think Breaker was there. I think Breaker was gone. But I know it was at least me and Twig. And then we had the fawn that was staying with Andric. I forget her character name. But she was with us as well, I'm pretty sure. Yes, because she got paralyzed at one point with me. But yeah, so us three for sure. So not super combat-y people. But I just had a refresh of spells and I was like, I can at least like drag people away if I need to. So I was like, let's go. So we get to town and there's a pink-haired fae that's hanging out in Marika's magic circle and was trying to tell Marika that no, she wasn't using the magic circle, she was just standing in it. And then as soon as Marika turned her back, basically, she was like, okay, everybody, we're face stepping with this magic circle, let's go. So then we had to walk into the Fey realm. And for learning in that time that we were going to go fight an undead Hydra. Yes, because she had, because she was very powerful and she had lots of different magic. The Queen of Spring. Very cute pink hair though. I do remember that. But yeah, so we all face step. And so basically we were walking through like a whole bunch of hedges that would kind of like move out of our way as we walked. And then we popped out at one point, and then there was the Hydra. And it had one head that looked like a banshee almost, so like ghostly and angry looking. It had one head that was like a skeleton, and then what was the third head? I can't remember. But basically, it was a great three-headed undead dragon. And the amount of people that face stepped with us, which thankfully the Queen of Spring did hop out at that moment and managed to grab Sithis and bring him in so he could at least fight the Hydra as well to get his own hat. So we had at least one really decent hitter. And then, yeah, so we were all kind of like, maybe we should have rethunk this. But let's give it our best shot anyway. So basically, Twig was running in, poking, the fawn was doing her thing. I threw all of my damagey spells, burned through all of them, and was sitting there like, I don't think my elemental rebuke is gonna do anything. So, yeah, that's not happening. I gave one person a blade at that point, and then I basically, yeah, after I burnt through my spells, I was like, I'm gonna try and like poke this thing and see how that goes. It didn't go very well. I immediately got paralyzed. I got a little spell packet thrown at me, I got paralyzed. So then somebody had to come run, grab me, drag me off to the side, and then they sat me down in a corner. And then shortly after that, somebody else got paralyzed, and then they got drug over and placed beside me. And then our fawn friend got paralyzed, and then she was brought over and put down beside us. So we were just making a big pile of paralyzed adventurers in the corner. And then, yeah, the Queen of Spring, our little Fey lady, came up and was just like, okay, like, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna chat with you paralyzed people for a bit, because you can't really, like, run away or say anything back. So she chatted with us for a bit and then was like, okay, I guess I'll help you out. And then she unparalyzed us, so we were like, oh, cool, thanks. Like, thanks so much, we're gonna go back to trying to poke it. And then I think I got a couple of pokes in for probably nothing, because I only did 1 damage at the time. And I wanted to hang on to my other elemental blade because I knew there was going to be more happening. And yeah, I got tail slapped. So I went down, got brought back up. Somehow we took down the Hydra. Got Sithis his hat. And then as we were going to leave, another Fae showed up, and he was Lord of the Hunt, and he very angrily came down and was just like, none of you are leaving. Like, I have business with this one guy. And I wish I could remember that character's name. I just remember he has really cool, like, slotted armor, and then he has a green alchemical light at night. But I guess in a previous game, this character had stolen the Lord of the Hunt's crown. So Lord of the Hunt came back, basically was just like, he's like, none of you can leave just yet, I got business with this one. And so he was like, you, Winter Huntsmaster. Oh, that was Corin? Oh my, wait, Corin finaled? Or he died? No, he couldn't have finaled because he was at the Hydra fight, so he must have just died. I'm smart. Or was he a different character? No, because he would have had to still been Corin. Yeah, no, I'm gonna assume that he died and he came back. But he was basically surrounded by wolves and the Hunt Master, the Winter Hunts Master. Oh. Oh, okay, then this makes a lot more sense now. Okay, so basically, the Huntsmaster gave him an option. They were just like, hey, you can either be hunted down, or you can become one of my wolves and join the hunt. And so Corin very loudly proclaimed that he was not prey, and so he will join the hunt. And then they turned him into a wolf, and then basically they were like, yeah, for the next 1,000 years, you're gonna be a wolf and you're gonna be hunting. And they took off. And it was like, oh! And then, yeah, the Queen of Spring was like, cool, everybody, we can head back now. But that makes so much sense. Okay, that's a really cool way to retire, I just gotta say. That's the best send-off ever. Because, like, I honestly was just like, oh, maybe, like, the Fae world, like, works different. And, like, 1,000 years in, like, the Fae world, he's gonna, like, show back up. But if that was his, like retiring of his character. He's actually going to be hunting for 1,000 years as a wolf. That is cool. And then we got back to town, and then a wolf popped through the Fey stepping portal with us, and gave Zilong, one of our members of Dragon Camp, they gave him an item. And later on, I learned, I think that was the item, or it might have been a different one that he got later, that he was bullied out of keeping by the townsfolk. That was really cool. But he got something from a wolf. And we were like, cool. Let's go. But yeah, and then after that, I think we like hung out at camp for a bit more. Oh, that was the cool item. So yeah, how I remember it was a really neat like a fire spell almost, because there's one that you can do where if you plant your foot, you can chuck like fire packets, like elemental fire, magic fire, just constantly. For as long as you have packets, you can chuck them. This item was you had to say like, hail to this demon, and then you could walk around and do the same thing and chuck just elemental fire. But the townsfolk, I guess, took an issue with that, and they were just like, no, you can't keep it. Yeah. So once a day you can throw 5 magic fire for 10 minutes. And like, that's just crazy, because 10 minutes is such a long time. when you're doing stuff, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, so no, that's crazy. It was such a cool item. And I'm really sad that town basically bullied him out of it, because they were like, no, it's evil, because like you have to say hail to this demon to use it, and like can't do it. Like you gotta purify it basically. And then so he gave in and was like, okay, fine, like we'll fix it. And then so yeah, basically got rid of that, and now he just has a very good quality chain instead. And right? And like, yeah, and then Sithis made a really good point of just like, you can add whatever you want to the end of that sentence. So you can be like, yes, hail this demon, the biggest bitch in the land. And you could just insult them as you say hail to them. And it totally would be like, yeah, no, like, sure. Oh yeah, no, fire magic is way better than a 10 gold chain. Like, frickin'. Dude, I've only been in the Dragon Camp for 2 moons, and I'm tired of the light followers. Like, they're such sticks in the mud. But yeah, so I'm hoping we can get him next time, next game. I want to see if we can get him a really cool magic item that he can keep. Because I think he was feeling rather hurt by the end of this game, because every time he gets one, he loses it, so I want to try and get him a really cool magic item. And then what was after it? What did we do next? I know we hung out. I ate food. We chatted. Oh! It was the Tournament of Champions, I think. Yeah, because you were still on your NPC shift. So now we can zoom in here. So this happened in town. Okay, so as we were hanging out, eating foods, drinking drinks, living the good camping life, uh, you got very beat. um, whatchamacallit? Somebody came by and was just like, "Hey, we're looking for Sithis. Uh, there's going to be like a tournament of champions, and like he's got to gear up and be there." And so at first we were like, I don't know where Sithis is, but then he did show up and we were like, oh, hey, no, Sithis, like, you gotta get your stuff on, you gotta go. Like, shit's going down, they need you. So me and Twig helped him get all of his armor on. We rushed down there. And, yeah, everybody was kind of gathering around. And then there was this, hobbling. I do believe his name was Wilbur. He told me his name, I should remember. I think it's Wilbur. But he was basically like being the announcer and stuff like that. But I did miss exactly who you guys were, Rice Ball. I don't know who you guys were, why you were there, why there needed to be a tournament of champions. I missed that part. All I know is that there was going to be 3 rounds of fights. At the very least. I thought there was going to be more, but apparently the tournament got derailed by mysterious forces that I will explain later. You don't really know either? Sweet. So there were 3 people that had come to town, and I guess they were going to fight our different champions. So first off was Sithis, and he put on a pretty good show, beat his opponent. We all got a cheer. We were like, oh hell yeah, go Sithis, woo! And then next was the big guy. What was his name? But he was absolutely terrifying. And I feel really bad for you, Rice Ball, that you went up against him. Because, like, every time I see this man fight, like, he is just about as tall as Sithis, I'm pretty sure. But I think he's a little bit wider and stockier. Robert is a big man. And he is a very angry barbarian, man. I want to say he's an Einer, but I could be wrong. All I know is that he's got a big-ass rune sword that is really cool. And he gets, like... yeah, he is an Einer, perfect. I got it right. But, like... he goes to town when he's fighting, and he role plays getting like very angry and like, don't stop me, I need to like murder everything. And so like, great LARPer, one of those people that I saw him and I'm like, no, nuh-uh. He's on my list of people I do not want to fight ever. So yeah, I was just like, no. Yeah, that man, never want to get on his bad side. But yeah, he went up against Rice Ball, and it was such a quick fight. And I was like, oh no! And then he tried to murder you at the end too. He started like killing Blowing, and Marika had to step in, and like Wilbur had to step in, and they were like, no, 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 bad, come here. Stop. Come here. Go sit down. And we were like, oh, holy frick. And then the 3rd champion got the longest introduction and the most fanfare because it was Alice Ander. And they were also a hobbling. So I think there was some favoritism among the judges. But she won her fight, I think. Even though she did end up on her back on the ground, I think she won her fight. And then it was very shortly after her fight. Oh, really? So he would have like killed you and then you would have instantly come back swinging? That would have been awesome. That would have been cool. They should have let him kill you. Just to see what would have happened. But yeah, so after like right after Alice's fight, oh nice. Cause yeah, I kind of missed what she fully did. I just know that she was running around and she was trying to pick up her alchemy stuff. And then at the very end, she was like on her back on the ground, and then she like reached over and like touched their leg with something, and then they went down, and then she was like, "Woo!" and they were like, "Victor!" It was like, okay. Oh, dude, that would have been great. Yeah, so like almost immediately after Alice won her fight, suddenly there was a jackalope, a small white rabbit, or in this case, a human-sized rabbit with antlers, comes running past. And then everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna get the fucking jackalope, let's go." And they took off. And me and Twig were sitting there and we're just like, nah, we don't really have anything to like catch a jackalope or to like get it. And we're like, we're not gonna be able to get it. And then Wilbur came over to us and he was like, "Hey, I'll pay you 10 gold if you get me that jackalope." And we were like, "Okay, we can try." And then as I was leaving, America was also like, "Yo, I'm paying like 10 gold if somebody can bring me the jackalope." And so my devious little brain went, "Oh, I'm gonna bring back this jackalope," and then I'm gonna be like, "Okay, which one of you wants it more?" And I almost had the jackalope. I almost did. I was gonna fucking blast it in its face. And then it phase stepped like right in front of me. And I was like, oh god damn it, I was so close. And I was like, I was gonna get him. I almost got the jackalope. Oh, I think that's pretty close. I think that's how you spell jackalope. But yeah, so then we were racing around this jackalope for a bit. And then there was one point where he phase stepped, and then the guy who was playing him was just like, hold on, I need a minute. And he was just like, I don't have asthma or anything, but I'm fat and I smoke. And I was like, that is the best. Just hold on, I need a minute. I'm fat and I smoke. I got nothing else wrong with me. Well, I think it's oh, it's a jackrabbit with an antelope. I think is the but jack and cantaloupe works too. But yeah, I think it's a jack and antelope is the two combinations of it. But yeah, apparently I also learned that even if it's a boy jackalope, you can milk them. And there was a jackalope sent out while I was NPCing. And I guess that one got milked. So we were like, oh, somebody's got jackalope milk in town. And like a fair bit of it too. So yeah, it was crazy things. Uh, but yeah, and then I think after the jackalope, like I thought we were gonna get back to the tournament and be like, oh, okay, now that like our three champions have won, obviously now like our three champions are gonna have to fight each other, and we're gonna see who's the championess champion, and that didn't happen. It was just over, and we were like, oh, okay, time to go back. Uh, and then I don't think too much else happened for a bit. Because I think the next thing that I fully remember doing was an elderly fae showed up to our camp and was just like, hey, we're playing hide and seek. First one to find my 4 fae and get their marks wins a prize. Come play. And so we were like, I think it was me, Twig, Breaker, and Beatrice. We're just like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. We're gonna find them. So we thought that they were gonna be much harder to find than they actually were. So we went looking all over the place. We took off in one direction, looked in like around by cabins. So like we went like all over here and like way over there in the distance. We checked all around there. We came up this path right here. We came up this way. We turned back into town. And we had already been doing that for like a good couple of minutes. And then we got to town and the Fae was like, so you found anybody yet? And we were like, no, we haven't found anyone. And so he gave us a hint that we should go look over by the Skyn Gate. So we were like, oh, yeah, we got this. So we got to about here at this building. And we were just like, I wonder if they're hiding in and amongst these cabins in between here and the Skyn Gate. And this is where we gamed too hard. Because you see this white building right here? One was hiding right behind that. We turned off, we searched around this half-assembled, half-deconstructed building. Oops, I'm hitting things. And then we took off into the woods, in and amongst the cabins, and popped out at the Skyn Gate. And we didn't see anyone. So then after the Skyn Gate, we came back up, we walked all along here. Instead of going through this straight path here, we went through the cabins in these trees. So like, as you can see, there's a path right here. There's also a path over here that like connects. So we came from the Skyn Gate, went over through here, down and around in here, couldn't find anyone, and then went up to the fort. And then just as we had finished checking the fort and didn't find anyone, it was called that they had a winner. And we were like, ah, damn. And then we were talking with somebody on the way back. And we were like, well, like, did you find anyone? And he was like, yeah, no, I found 2 of them. And we were like, okay, for our own curiosity, where were they? And he told us the one that was behind the one building. And we were like, are you serious? We were like, they were that easy to find. We just had to stick to the bigger paths. And we're like, ah, oh, god damn it. So, game too hard. Didn't win. I'm not sure who won. I think it might have been Tegan, which is another friend of Dragon Camp that comes and camps with us. I believe they're also a dragon follower. I'm just not sure of which dragon. Is it the purple one? The Fae one? I want to say. But I think they won. So I'm just happy that somebody from Dragon Camp went. We didn't. We started heading back, and then that is when we bumped into our friend Capricorn, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a shaman quest here soon. You wanna come with me?" And we were like, "Hell yeah, let's go shaman quest." Oh, I did get it all right. My brain works sometimes. Awesome. Tegan did win, and they do follow the purple Fey dragon. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. If that helped progress your pathway, that's amazing. So I'm really glad she won then. But yeah, bumped into Riceball, our dear friend Capricorn, for his shaman pathway stuff. Shaman quest. So we go back to camp to meet up with everybody. And then basically all of Dragon Camp follows Capricorn for his shaman quest. So everybody. Thade, Sithis, Twig, Breaker, Trauma Quest. So from what I knew of your shaman quests before was that you fought things and that there were moths. And so I was like, okay, so like we might be doing some fighting. And then you said that there was going to be like a diplomacy part to this one, and then probably fighting something undead. And so I was like, cool. I was like, I can help with that. I got a few things. I'm like, I got some swamp walks. I got 2 of my elemental rebukes still, and that's all I had. I had no damage spells. I had absolutely nothing. Oh no, I had one blade left too. I had 1 elemental blade. So I had 1 elemental blade, 2 rebukes, 2 swamp walks. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I can at least do a little bit of something. I can be support. Let's go. So we follow Capricorn up the Bloody Mountain, which I really gotta stop going up that mountain. It kills my legs like no tomorrow. But we get to the top, and I gotta say, for a shaman quest, we had the most beautiful backdrop. Because we get to the top of this hill, and then you just have like a big wide open field. And from the top of the field, you could see in the distance, there was these big thunder clouds with lightning sparking between them and lighting up. But then, like, that was just kind of like on the horizon in the distance. And then all above us was just a beautiful, clear sky. So you could see all the stars. It was so gorgeous. We're just like, this is the perfect night and backdrop for whatever is about to go down right now. Oh, you had to fight off 2 moths and protect your shaman for a mod. And then the second time you had to get 4 friends to fight off 2 unspeakable spirit horrors. Oh, I missed the spirit horrors. I might have had second thoughts on that one. I heard of the moths. I missed the spirit horrors. Oh my gosh. But yes, so I will give you Liliana's point of view, and then I will delve into what Capricorn actually experienced. So we get to the top of the hill. Capricorn goes ahead a little bit and goes to like set up and stuff, and then we are called forward to join him. We step into a little area that has like a monolith and like a couple of buildings, and then we have, I think they were part of the Jackal tribe elves. 2 of them were there, and then there was the shaman. And we kind of step up, and we're looking at the sky, and it's absolutely beautiful. And then we kind of have a moment where we just get pretty sleepy and we go, and then we're like, God damn, these stars are beautiful. And then Capricorn goes, thanks everybody, we're done. Oh, what exactly did, it was amazing. I'll wait for you to type it because you had the best line of just like, yeah, we're done. Thanks for coming. We can leave now. And then we were all like, what? But we just got here. Like, what do you mean? Like, we just got here, Capricorn. Nothing happened yet. And he was like, yeah, no, we're good. I took a spirit journey. It was great. Let's go. And we were like, oh, okay. Well, like, if that's all you needed, like, I guess it was a great nighttime walk, beautiful scenery. Let's get back to camp. But yeah, I'll wait here for a second, because yeah, you had the best line, and I can't quite remember exactly how I remember the ending. It was beautiful. But yeah, no, absolutely beautiful sky. People were seeing like shooting stars too. Oh yeah. Hey guys, thanks for coming. I really appreciate your presence. Look at the river of stars, and there's the Big Dipper. And it was just so perfect. Because our characters literally walked up this mountain and like stepped into the circle, yawned, and then we're like, okay, thanks for coming. Appreciate ya. Look at the river of stars. There's the Big Dipper. It was beautiful. And then yeah, then we proceeded to trek back down the mountain. Now, what happened for Capricorn? Because we all vaguely remember this as like a weird dream. So after we slept that night and woke up the next morning, we kind of remembered this. Capricorn remembers every excruciating detail. So he has emotional damage. But we walked in there. The monolith changed, I think, first. So the monolith changed into being gross and creepy. All of these like spectral hands basically like pushed up and like shook the ground and surrounded the area that we were in. So like we couldn't leave. If we tried to leave, I believe it was 1 arcane damage like every like 10 seconds or something like that. So basically couldn't leave. The stars above us basically turned into like cold, unblinking eyes, and Jiki may have had trauma from another D&D game. Oh, 1 arcane a second. Oh yeah, I would have died in like 10 seconds. That's why 10 was on my brain. But Jiki played a D&D campaign where there were stars in the skies that weren't actually stars, and her character may have had a crazy dream herself where the stars became eyeballs that were like unblinking and staring at her. And then so she may have had trauma with stars for a bit. So yeah, then the stars turned into eyeballs, and Lilliana had a brief moment of, oh fuck, not the eyeball stars again. But then, yeah, so then we were all there, we're all trapped, and we're all like, oh, like, what the fuck is happening? And then Capricorn Shaman just starts, like, losing it on one of the elves that came with us. And to like teach him a lesson, he like disemboweled him and like turned him into a death knight. And so we were all like, whoa, holy fuck, like serious shit's going down, like something's wrong. And then the shaman basically turned to Capricorn and was like, hey, something's wrong here. Like, how dare you bring like this evil into like my area, sort of thing. And Capricorn was like what? Like, I didn't, like, I trust all these people, like, what evil was brought in? And then Thade was singled out. And the shaman goes over and he was just like, he's like, this evil is what you brought in. And he pulls something off of Thade, and we're all like sitting there in the dark like, what is that? What does Thade got on him that like is messing with shit? And we're like, well, he is a necromancer, so like that could be it. No, it wasn't the necromancy thing. Turns out wasn't really our Thade in the fever dream. The Thade in the fever dream was a Maligant follower, and they turned so evil, and they were like, oh, it's so easy to infiltrate these stupid ass dragons, because I guess Maligant is one of the gods, and one of the stupid evil ones, I think. But he was just like, yeah, like so easy to infiltrate. So then Capricorn had to basically go push him up to the monolith and ripped out his heart. And as Sithis was yelling, he was like, if it's a heart you rip out, like, it's not Thade. Like, can't be Thade. If you rip out a heart, can't be Thade. Thade's got an egg. Yeah, the undeath bad god is Maligant. And yeah, so Capricorn rips out Thade's heart, and it's an actual beating heart. And so we were all like, oh, thank God, not actually our Thade. Like, our Thade has an egg. But then when Thade re-emerged, like respawned back in, he was still against Capricorn, I do believe. And so Capricorn had to rip out his heart again, and that time it was an egg. But then after that fact, Thade never changed sides again. So then, basically, Capricorn was trying to figure out who else there could possibly have been, like, having issues. And then basically an all-out brawl broke out. And our mechanics were, this is one hell of a fever dream that Capricorn is experiencing. So every time somebody died, we swapped alignments. So if you were on Capricorn's team, you would then be against him. If you were against him, you would then be on his team. That became very confusing in the first 10 seconds. So what ended up happening... Oh no! Raceball got... Oh, how many capital letters did you put? Because I have been fighting with that. I have many. Yeah. I tried to increase the amount, but I wanted to still prevent people. It was a whole sentence. Oh no. Rip. But yeah, so first 10 seconds, absolute chaos. People were going down, people were getting up. We didn't have. Yeah, Capricorn had no idea what was going on. Like, everybody was like suddenly with him, and then they were against him. And then, yeah, so Thade, I don't even know if he died again. I'd actually have to ask him. But basically, he was on your side from that point on. So Thade was always on your side. I believe Andric never died, but that's because he also had no idea what was going on, and he would just shank anyone, friend or foe, if they got close. I don't think the VOD I think will just delete that one. Or did it delete all of them? Oh yeah, if I scroll back, you're completely gone. Oh my god. Oh, hello, Forager. We are taking a brief intermission because my auto mod has a power trip. Okay. Where is... What if I just turned off caps protection? I turned it off completely. I flicked the switch. Auto mod has been timed out. Yeah. And I think it'll still show up because it pops up on my screen. Up here, or I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Over here, I have a little box that pops up. So it'll be tiny, but people will still be able to see all of chat as it's being said. They just won't be able to scroll back through the messages, I don't think. No, I turned off cap locks protection for now. And then maybe I'll look more into that later. It seems to... I flipped the switch is right. But yeah, so basically, we just went fever dream mode. And then if we were with Capricorn, if we died, we were then... don't make me turn it back on, Forager. I'll do it. And Automod has no chill. Yeah, so Thade was always with him. Andric was always with him. I think Sithis was always with you as well. I don't think anybody killed Sithis. Or did he die at least once? I can't remember. But yeah, I know there was a couple of times where, like, my character would be, like, against you. And I think I killed Beatrice once. But other than that, like, I didn't really do anything. I know I swamp walked, or I tried to swamp walk Sithis, and he reflected it at me, and then murdered me. Oh, he changed sides once? Okay. So somebody got through to him, at least once. And then, yeah, the reason I know Andric was with you the whole time was I freaking walked up to him at one point, and I was on your side. And I was just like, Andric, are you with Capricorn, or are you against him? And instead of answering me, he just shanked me for 4 damage. And I was like, ah! I was like, Andric, what the fuck? And he's like, I don't know what's going on, but everybody's crazy. And we were like, oh, okay. Like, don't go near Andric. He's just shanking everyone. It doesn't matter what side you're on. And then, yeah, then there was another time I was against you. And I think, yeah, it was Sithis standing on the other side. And I was literally just bapping you and Sithis for 1 normal. And you guys were like, no effect. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and keep doing it because I don't want to go fight anybody else. And then I think Sithis just murdered me. He got tired of me bapping him. He was like, "Get out of here." And then, yeah, and then there was another part where, like, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Thade," and I was just like, "I'm gonna get him," and he straight up murdered me with one spell packet throw, and I was like, "God damn it!" And then I think I spawned back in, and then Sithis like came over and hit me once, and like not even trying. He just like casually walked over and was like, 14 magic, and I was like, "Are you serious?" So with my dying breath, I was like, "You and Thade are so rude." Just murdering me with the casualty of swatting a fly. Like, I'm a little bit more of a threat than that, but apparently not to them. And then yeah, that went on for quite a while. And then I missed it because I was dead. But I guess the action that you figured would solve everything was because your shaman had told you that the issue was closer than it seemed. And so Capricorn took that as, maybe my heart is the issue. Maybe I'm the issue. And so Capricorn cut out his own heart, and then everybody like started eating it. Oh, it was a voice in your head. The voice in his head told him it was closer than it appeared. And yeah, so Capricorn, being metal as fuck, was just like, yes, time to cut out my own heart, and everybody started eating it. And it was like, whoa. Like, what happened while I was dead? Everything is going absolutely crazy. Yeah, and then that was when the fever dream ended. And that's when we all were like, oh, the stars are beautiful tonight. And then, yeah, Capricorn had all the emotional damage, all the trauma. Trauma quest. And yeah, now he's gotta think really hard on who's actually friend and who's foe, who he can fully trust, and all that lovely shaman mysticky bullshit. And then yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, so what we knew going into it was we were told that if we went down, we would only go down for like a couple of like 10 or 20 seconds. And then if Capricorn came over and took out our heart, we were supposed to give him an extra 10 seconds to do so. If Capricorn took our heart, we were always on his side, even if we died. But I will admit, like, the first 10 seconds of that whole thing, that fever dream, was an absolute nightmare. I'm like, I don't even think I could have figured that out without a really good hint. And I guess the hint was supposed to be Thade, but because he took out his heart twice, well, he took out his heart once, and then he was still against him, and then he took out his heart again. And then, like, I don't think Thade might have gone down maybe once or twice, but it might not have been, like, within your vision. And, like, yeah, I would have had no clue what was going on either. I would have been like, oh my god, this is an absolute nightmare. So, as we were going back down the mountain, I did hear the plot member say that they were like, not quite what they had in mind, and they were just like, but they really liked how Capricorn did things. So they were like, yeah, we liked his take on it. We're going to give it to him anyway. So congratulations, Rice Ball. You can be a trauma shaman now. And then, yeah, so then, as we're coming back down, oh, I almost forgot. Right before Fever Dream started happening, I could just hear in the distance somebody from town screaming for Dragon Camp to come help them. And the saddening thing is that all of Dragon Camp was on a shaman quest. So there was none of us at camp. So I'm not sure what went down in town, but something bad was happening. What we did find on our way back was, I guess, just ahead of us, Thade and Andric were kind of like the first ones down the hill, and they were walking. And I think they're called faceless demons, popped out and just murder shanked Thade, and then murder shanked Andric, grabbed Andric's body, and blipped away. And then so people brought Thade back up. They saw that Andric was taken, and so they were just like, oh fuck, like if you see Andric, it's not actually Andric, it's gonna be the demon wearing its skin. And they were just like, bad times, y'all. And then so Lilliana was just like, you know what? I'm too tired for this shit. I'm going back to camp. Like, I know that if I talk to somebody and then they don't talk back, that's a demon and I gotta run away. So I would like to conserve my energy and I'm gonna go back to camp. So very carefully, I had to walk across the grounds, trying not to step in gopher holes because I didn't want to die, and made my way back to camp. And then I think after that was the end of that night for me. Yeah, it was the end of that night for me. So then we slept, and because Sithis is a maniac and had to work that evening, or like early the next, I think it was that evening, we had to leave early. So as soon as we woke up at 8, we had to start tearing down the camp. But some of us remained in our like LARP clothes, just very simplified down, and we kept our weapons on us to help in case anything happened. Yeah, it was early the next day. So yeah, it would have been early Monday, but like early Monday. And if we would have left at our normal time, it would have been stupid late by the time we got home. So slowly packing up. Some of us wore our garb. And then I think what happened then that day was we stopped a group of Garglin from getting to the gate. We handed them in for gold. And then because they gave us gold bars and I wanted to share the one that I got with the one girl who helped me bring the one Garglin in, I asked Sithis to split it, and then he also wanted to pay one of the others that snared a Garglin, and they didn't get paid, so he was like, I'll give them some. I got sent back into town with the broken up gold, gave it to them, and then while I was in town, a group of farmers, because of course it's always the group of farmers, they're causing problems all the time. were just like, hey, we saw people bringing in horned individuals, gargolins, and they were getting gold for them. So like we want to do that. But these farmers weren't very bright, and they don't exactly know fully what a gargolin is. They just know that they have horns. So they were trying to catch and round up everybody who had horns. And then one person in town had mentioned, because I was just going to leave. I was like, no, this is town's problem. They got farmers under control. We're good. Somebody in town was just like, no, there's no garglins here. They're gray and they have horns. You can see what one looks like if you go to Dragon Camp. And I was like, fuck. So I ran all the way back to Dragon Camp and was just like, hey, Sithis, we're about to have a problem. There's a group of people that are gonna come here and try and take our garglin. So I was like, Twig, you gotta stay in the tent. Like, you gotta stay back. I'd rather not take the chance that we have to murder just farmers who want some gold. Because they managed to snag you and take you off. So I was like, you stay here. And be prepared to run if need be. And then Sithis met them. And then that was where our little divide right here, I actually witnessed it in action. Because very angry Sithis came out, which I think was the first time all weekend I got to see Grumpy Man Sithis come out. So I thought that was pretty impressive. But he made them stand on the other side of the line. They were not allowed to cross. And he was like, no, not happening. He's like, they're gonna come in here and try and take one of my people. And that is where he very clearly was just like, hey, that's, what is it, Bouffontian rule over there? And he's like, past this line? He's like, this is Rathnok land. He was like, you guys can have whatever rules you want over there. This is my land. Fuck off. You step on it, I'ma murder the shit out of all of you. And it was like, wow. Grumpy Man said this. Let's go. You show them who's boss. Oh, I also forgot something important that happened as well at one point. I'll get back to it. But yeah, he very angrily told them off. Then they came up with, a couple of people in town came up with the great idea of we are going to just let them take us in. They're like, they're either going to bring us there and the first citizen is going to be like, the fuck are you guys doing? These aren't gargling. And he's going to tell them off, or she's going to tell them off and kick them out. Or they're going to get paid like a pity amount and we'll be okay. Like, right? Because we're not under mind control or anything. So, yeah, they all went off to go be turned in instead of gargling. And then, yeah, we helped pull down some more stuff in town. Or not in town, in camp. And then we... Oh, and then more demons spawned in. And there was some pretty big ones. So they asked for some help from Dragon Camp. So we went in to go help with some demons. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I still got my swamp walks that I haven't used yet, and I still got my elemental rebuke, and I got my blade, and I ended up giving Sithis the blade, and then I swamp walked an imp, I think, and I swamp walked. Oh no, I tried to swamp walk a demon and it didn't work. They had a defense against it. But what I did do, and I had my life flash before my eyes very briefly, was Thade was basically 1v1ing this big horn demon. And Thade ended up going down. And I had noticed throughout this fight that every time Thade went down, he would be down for a few minutes, and then he would come back up, and he would be visibly regenerating. And so I'd be like, oh, okay. So I'm like, if Thade goes down, I'm like, I can just go, like, check him, get him out of the way, and then he'll pop back up and he'll be fine. But then the demon that he was fighting decided to very loudly announce, just mostly to get people's attention, of saying his killing blows. So he was in the process of just straight on murdering Thade. And I was like, fuck, I can't let that happen. So I ran back up and I elemental rebuked him. So I sent this demon flying backwards 10 feet, and he took one stone magic to the face, well, to the neck, because I swear to God, I aim low and then everybody ducks down. And then I smack them in the face, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best not to do that, but everybody puts their face in the path of my packets. And yeah, so sent him flying back, did one measly little damage to him. But because I interrupted his killing blows, and I did damage to him, I got very angrily pointed out and was told, "You're mine." And then I ran for my life. And then I think America went running by the other way and intercepted him. But yeah, most terrifying, well, second most terrifying moment of Liliana's life of just, I got nothing. I've used everything I've got. There's nothing left for me to do. Pretty sure my little bappin' stick isn't gonna do anything. So then yeah, I spent the rest of that fight, just basically picking people up and moving them out of, like, harm's way. And then, stupid bloody demons fucking turned me into a toad. Right near the very end. So then I was sitting there as a frog, ribbiting. Just sitting there on the ground going, ribbit, 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 ribbit. And then one person picked me up and brought me closer into town where there were more frogs that needed to be healed, and put me down out of the way so that I wouldn't get stepped on or obliterated in any fashion. And I was just ribbiting away. And I think I got to... They finished up the fight, and then another person moved me closer to some other frogs. And every single other frog got fucking fixed. And they just left me a frog. So I was like, God damn it. So I was just ribbiting the whole time. And I think I had to be a frog for 10 minutes. And I think I had counted to right around like 7 minutes in my head. And then Ray and Zilong found me. And they picked me up and they're like, I guess you can spend the rest of your time as a frog at Dragon Camp. Let's go. And I was like, oh no. I'm like, I just got to ribbit for another 3 minutes. I'm like, this fucking sucks. And then, yeah, I think Tegan fixed me on the way back when I had like 2 minutes left. We were almost at Dragon Camp and she was like, oh, are you a frog still? I was like, ribbit. So she's like, here. She's like, I can fix that. So she fixed me. And then I think that was the last big thing that we did. I think other than that, we just finished cleaning up. We missed the big hurrah at the end again, so I still don't know what happens at the very end of game. But I know there's lots of cheering. But yeah, and then we finished packing up, and then we left, and we headed home. But the one thing I forgot was on Saturday. And this would have been in between the golem, the elemental golems, and the keep, I think. Or was it after the keep? Sometime on Saturday, when I was dead and dying, and I was just hanging out in the tent, there was a point where Sithis was asking for gold coins or words to basically describe him. And I was just dead in the tent. And I was like, I don't really have a gold. I'm like, I got like a gold, but I'm like, I gotta hang on to that for now. So I was like, no, I gotta sit this one out. I'm like, I'll fund Sithis another day. But I guess that was for his pathway stuff. And so he got bumped up on his pathway. And then yeah, shortly after that, while I was in the tent, like right on the other side, so like we zoom in on our tent. My bed's like, let me get my pen. My bed's like right here. That was where I was sleeping. Right on this other side of trees over here, suddenly something, I think they were gargoyles. They were gargoyles with a gargling hostage, I think it was, just like fell out of the sky right outside our camp. And like the good sick little kitsune that I was just like, yes, I'm just gonna lay here and be really quiet and hope that none of them come in the tent. And it worked. But I almost forgot about that because I wasn't a part of it. I just remember hearing that as I was fighting off ouchies and sore tummies. I was like, yeah, I'm like, I just gotta lay here a minute. But that is all of my LARP adventures with Lilliana, version 2. Oh, it was just gargoyles? I thought they had a gargling hostage. Somebody had told me. Maybe they were mistaken. But just gargoyles. Dropping right outside Dragon Camp. Thudding on the ground. But yeah. Those are all the adventures that I remember and that I was part of. Like we had shouted out earlier for Distracted Elf. I know she will do a video one of these days. I have yet to figure out fully her schedule after LARP when she does them. But if you follow her and all of her really cool content, she might be able to give you a better, probably definitely a better lore drop, and what exactly was happening in town most of the time. For sure. But yeah, I think I was tempted to do some art here after this. Oh, it should be tomorrow? Oh, I gotta remember to tune into her stream tomorrow. Awesome. But yeah, so she'll have probably way better, more coherent LARP stories than me. But yeah, I'm just super excited that I can share them with everybody. And thanks, Raceball, for tuning in and helping me with stuff because, yeah, my brain is fuzzy as heck. I might put these pictures together in a better map sort of layout. Actually, I should see if I can find an aerial view of the campsite and then make a map from that. And then I can exactly pinpoint where everything is. But yeah, I always have fun. I'm Still incredibly sore. Yesterday, I could not go up and down my steps. I have 3 steps in between my bedroom and like the rest of my house. Thank goodness the bathroom is up on the same level as my bedroom, or else I'd been screwed. But I was able to go up and down them today with just mild discomfort. So I was able to do that, but just sitting here, my back's kind of like, mm-mm, girl, you done fucked up. So I think we will practice our raids. I still don't have a message. So if you hang around for my raid, just say hi to the new people. We are going to switch to this one. Ta-da! We're going to turn that off. I gotta see who is online. Who the frick is streaming right now? Oh, Phantasm is streaming. Okay, let's see. Who else is live right now? Yeah, I think I want to do Phantasm. So I do believe it is Phantasm's affiliate anniversary today. He plays Apex a lot recently, and he is doing a lot of ranked stuff. I really enjoy him. He is also one of the first people to like follow me. So you guys be nice. Follow his rules. Listen to him. Listen to any of his mods. Be good. Say hi. I'm gonna remember how to do this. It is /raid. And then I need to type in his name properly. Phantasm Opera. Okay, and then perfect. Okay, so I think this will go through as soon as I hit this button here in a few seconds. So thanks for coming and listening to me. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day. And I look forward to streaming next, which should be Thursday with Jaded. So look forward to that collab. Bye-bye! Oh.
Excuse me if I'm holding because I'm in a short fuse today because Apex is bad. Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Jaded.